Yo, guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the FIFA Flow Podcast. Welcome to a new season, season 4 of the new league seasons for all the games. We have a new season coming, 2023/24 season. So we're going to new podcast season, of course, with that. Guys, I haven't been doing a podcast for 2 weeks. I came back from Europe last weekend, and I'm happy to be back, guys. Happy to. Ooh, what a shot! I'm watching the PSG game on the side here. 15 minutes left, so a bit of a reaction throughout this podcast. But yeah, I'm happy to be back. Happy to talk about a lot of the games and of course football news that we missed over the past 2 weeks. You might think that, oh, it might be a long video, but not a lot of news tabs open today. About 8 open today or 9 open today. But that's because the news we're going to be talking about today is also going to be a bit of a rant as well. I want to compare the Saudi League to the MLS, as well as compare how players and transfers, how they're doing into their first 3 games of the of league games that we missed over the past 2 weeks. So we're going to talk about that, how the players fit into their teams, and of course, Saudi League, because it's looking good so far. Saudi League versus the MLS League, of course, both Ronaldo and Messi winning a trophy with their new corresponding team in their own new leagues, of course, which is great, man. It's great to see the GOATs both at their end of their careers, maybe not even their end, like towards their end, you can say, achieved everything and going on to smaller clubs, helping them achieve glory as well. So it's great to see them doing that. So I want to talk about that as well. And then, of course, ended off with a footy tic tac toe, like usual, like we always do. Guys, let's get right into it. Let's start off with the league games, guys. Let's start off with La Liga, guys, because I want to talk about Real Madrid. Not any game in specifically, but Real Madrid as a whole, man. Of course, top of the standings with 3 wins, 5 goals, 4 of them being by the one and only Jude Bellingham. My goodness, what a player Jude Bellingham is. I talked about him. I think it was in a preseason game, was it, or was it in the first match? I think it was in the first match against Athletic Club, or it was in a pre game. Um, I think it was against Athletic Club. But what a player, man. Que jugador, man. Que jugador, man. What a player, Jude Bellingham, man. This guy is probably the best attack oriented box to box midfielder. Like, he has all the time in defense. Like, I don't know, maybe not, like, he has really good defensive capabilities, and I think a huge factor comes to both his height and also his physical presence. But at the same time, you can say his physical presence is also due to his height. He's 6'2", I think, one somewhere up there. He's very very big, so he has like a big presence, a hooded presence, a Zizou presence. Everyone comparing him to Zizou because he has that type of presence in game. He has that body type, the height, the physicality, and then the movements that this guy does. The attacking movement. This guy is I know Madrid don't have a number 9 right now, but this guy is moving like a number 9, a false 9. Drops into the midfield. Not necessarily drops into the midfield. He's already in the midfield, helping with his physical presence to defend the ball, but the runs that he makes is very similar to number 9. Diagonal runs in behind the defender into open space where he gets a cross in by Toni Kroos in one of the games. I think it was in the game against Almeria. I think, where is it? Almeria. So game over here, Toni Kroos sends a through ball over as the second goal in the 6th minute. Toni Kroos through ball over, and Jude Bellingham, a player who acts like a number 9, make that run through, and he headers it in. Great goal by Jude Bellingham. The runs that this guy makes is like no one else. As a midfielder as well, is incredible. Que jugador, man. Que jugador. What a player, man. So, as I said, defensively on the ball, he's great. Very similar player to Zizou, and I think he's gonna, from here on, he 5 goals for Madrid overall, and him scoring 4 of them. Jude Bellingham. So, okay, PSG almost scored off of a cross. I'm watching the game, as I said, on the side here. 10 minutes to go. Oh, what a strike! But yeah, as I said, going back to Jude Bellingham, what a player! What a player on the ball, brilliant. I want to talk about the last game, of course, not with the big injury of one of their main players, of course, being Vinicius Junior, having a great season last season. I want to talk about him as well. Let's go ahead and talk about a bit of the whole team, each player individually. Of course, with Kepa, coming in from Chelsea on loan. I think it's on a loan deal. Um, from Chelsea, I think he's gonna be fitting in, and he didn't have a bad game. Of course, I think he let in one or two offside goals, which is unfortunate, but overall, he's not bad. It looks a bit shaky on the ball, and that's not what you want as a Madristas. You need to be a good player on the ball. You see Courtois a lot of the time. Even Courtois is not that great on the ball, like passing from the back. But like that's why you see a lot of the time Madrid plays it slow from the back and builds up from the back because they need more time on the back to pass the ball. So as I said, yeah, I think with Kepa though, it's more like give it to his hand and then he throws it to someone or he just boots it up. But overall, yeah, not bad, not bad. I think Lunin has more experience playing with this Madrid team, so I think Lunin would have been better, not even on the bench. But yeah, I think Lunin would have been better. Of course, Courtois with the ACL injury, in the thigh, or somewhere there. Carvajal, of course, Capitan, great captain, still at the club legend, of course. And I think yet again, I think it's time for him to leave. But at the same time, what I like about Madrid having these older players like Carvajal, like Toni Kroos, like Luka Modric, is they show an example to players like Valverde, Chouameni, Camavinga, Jude Bellingham, Toni Kroos, and Luka Modric especially, bringing like giving a pure example of how to play like a Madristas. And Jude Bellingham has adapted right away. Jude Bellingham has adapted. Camavinga, great player. Chouameni, learning how to play that defensive role. He's a beast in that defensive role. It was surprising how Toni Kroos got subbed on, or Chouameni got subbed off for Toni Kroos, and Toni Kroos was struggling in that CDM position because Toni Kroos is not a pure CDM. I think he's someone more like a box to box, someone who's more up on the pitch, who sends those through balls. We're gonna go ahead and talk about the Saudi league later, and very similar to Brozovic as well. Not really a pure CDM, but someone who has defensive capabilities and sees those through balls in behinds. Pass into Jude Bellingham, pure example there. But as I said, Chouameni, he needs more playing time, and he's gonna be one of the best CDMs in the world. He was amazing in this game, man. On the ball, I mean, this guy was doing Rabona crosses up on the left side here, man. Rabona crosses as a CDM. Have you ever seen a CDM go all the way up on the pitch doing Rabona crosses? That is pretty crazy. Valverde, of course, being Valverde, never stopped running. Camavinga, as I said, always replacing everyone. And then yeah, Fran Garcia, not bad, not bad. He needed, of course, I think Camavinga is better there defensively, even in the attack. But I mean, Fran Garcia a bit shaky, but yet again, he needs more playing time as well. They just got him in. I think he was here from last season, actually, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, overall, Rudiger, Alaba, of course, them being the two solid. Alaba, man, I always say this. Alaba was probably one of the most underrated signings in the past few transfer windows. No one talks about the amount of like no one talks about the output that Alaba brought into this Madrid team, both defensively and as a leader, as a captain in that back line, winning the UCL in his first season here, like replacement for Ramos and Varane leaving, and then Alaba coming in. No one talks too much about that. So I just want to make that clear as well. I really think that Alaba is one of the best defenders, especially from what we've seen in Madrid the past few seasons with two of their main defenders, Sergio Ramos and Rafael Varane leaving. And then of course alongside with Eder Militao, giving an example to Eder Militao. Of course, Alaba himself, a leader from Bayern Munich as well, being a Champions League just 2 seasons before Madrid. He came to Madrid, won the Champions League, brought a prime example of how to be a leader, how to be a beast of a center back. He's also one of the few center backs in the world who's good not only defensively but who's good as a leader, but also a player who's good on the ball. The reason why Alaba is so good in this Madrid team is because he's someone who can play on the ball from the back. You can say very similar as a CDM. He played left back at Bayern Munich as well before Davies came, got pushed into that center back, but he still has that type of he still has that type of movement where he's like a dribbling type center back. He's good on the ball, he's good on his feet, like a CDM type of player. Like Chouameni, he's very similar to Chouameni. You see Chouameni, He's a CDM defensively, but sure, many he was going up like a center mid, like he's good on the ball, good dribbling. Alba very very similar, good defensively, good on the ball, the passes he makes as well, and of course Alba being known for his free kicks as well. Amazing, Keju Gador yet again. But overall, yeah, Alaba. Yeah, I just wanted to mention that because he's not being talked of, man. Talked about Rudiger being one of the best center backs in the world. Carvajal, true. Yeah, this midfield here is just elite, man. Elite. We talked about Jude Bellingham, the height, the physical presence. Reminds me exactly of Zizou. You watch the Zizou highlights from the past, man, and like the way that Zizou moves, the 1-2s, the pass and go tiki taka movement. He does a flare around. He does a pass around the player, pass back a 1-2 flare, goes around the player, spins around the player. Jude Bellingham making those runs in behind, same to as Zizou. The headers that he gets into the back of the net, very similar to Zizou. I mean, what a player, man. Valverde, of course, yet again, this guy is like the Kante of the team. Has defensive abilities. He has like I feel like with Valverde, he's more of a box to box. He's not good in attack. I mean, he's good in attack, but like, and he's also like decent in midfield or in defense. Like, yeah, this guy's more of a box to box. Like, you wouldn't say what his specialty is. Is he better in attack? Is he better in defense? There, man. He's there chasing the ball, putting pressure on the other team. So he's more of a box to box. He's more of a putting a pressuring a pressurized player. He puts pressure on the other team to chase the ball down, put them into tight spaces. That's what I would say Valverde is. He's good in attack as well. The passes he makes, of course, in that UCL final against Liverpool 2 seasons ago. He's good in defense as well as a right back to cover up. He's playing on the right side, of course, with Danny Carvajal being more of an older player, might not have the physical like the physicality anymore, or the strength, or even like the stamina. Valverde playing on that right side to kind of cover up Carvajal, of course. So Valverde, man, never stops running. Camavinga, we talked about him. Vinny Jr., Rodrigo, still great. Rodrigo getting into that Vinny type stage as well. We saw Vinny a few seasons ago. You take a look at 2019 Vinny, even a bit of 2020 Vinny. Definitely 2018, 2019 Vinny, where he was just terrible. And you can say last season, or 2 seasons ago, Rodrigo was like that as well. And then last season, Rodrigo was kind of turning into that 2020 slash 2021 Vinny, where he's becoming more of a consistent player. Not bad. So now we're going to be starting to see Rodrigo kind of turning more into like a better player, a more consistent player. Like he plays all the time, but there's just some games where he does good, and then some days he's having an off day. That's what I mean by consistent, not consistent. But when he has a good game, he has a great game. So that's so good. But you just have to be a top player. You need to be consistent. Be top of your game. Have a good game every single game. Or maybe you can have one game off, but like good game and then a bad game and then 2 3 good games again. You have to have that consistency to be a good player. And I think we're gonna be in that phase where Rodrigo is gonna be getting more playing time. Of course, Madrid not having a pure number nine. As I said, Jude Bellingham being that number nine kind of. You can even see the way that Madrid play in that 4-1-2-2. It's kind of like Rodrigo and Vinny kind of going out wide as well to make those out wide runs, and make those crosses in, making those diagonal runs into the box. Now Jude Bellingham is basically your number nine over here. Basically, the formation even is very similar into how Bellingham fits as a number nine as well, because of where he's playing and how this formation forms out, as well as the surrounding players he has, how they move out of position, now making this whole space in the middle open, and then Jude Bellingham is there to play as that number nine. Essentially, it's exactly how this formation plays, and it exactly goes back to how I said Jude Bellingham plays as a number nine. But as I said, Rodrigo and Vinny, especially Rodrigo, as I said, with Madrid not having a number nine, Rodrigo and Vinny gonna get more playing time, especially centrally, and for that reason, I think we're gonna see like Rodrigo going into a more of a phase where he gets more consistent and turns into the Vinny we're seeing now. Goes, makes those passes, makes those run, always consistent every game. But now we have a problem here. Vinny Jr. injured yet again. 4 of their main players from the past 2 seasons: Courtois, my bad, Courtois, Eder Militao, Vinicius Jr., and then who's the other one? Courtois, Eder Militao, Vinicius. I forgot who the other main injury was. Mbappe scored. Oh, Mbappe scored on the left. I forgot who the fourth one was. It was Courtois, Benzema, or not? No, not Benzema. Courtois, Militao, Vinny. It's all I can think of. I know there's a fourth player who is majorly injured, but three of their biggest players, key players of their starting 11 players, have been injured. So I don't know. Not looking good for Madrid, but at the same time, like, yeah, I don't know. They're gonna need they need Mbappe, man. Mbappe is like the player they need. It's that time. It's that time. Like last season, I was pushing hard. I was saying every podcast, like I know a lot of Madrid fans, a lot of football fans in general. Even if you're not a PSG fan, not a Madrid fan, were saying Mbappe was a fraud. He's a rat for not going to Madrid. But as a PSG fan, I can clearly see the reasons why he didn't go to Madrid because that last season Madrid just won the UCL. You can say yes, why you can say yes, I want to go to a team who just won the UCL. They're strong right now, but at the same time, why not stay in my home city, in my home country, help them instead of going to a team who just won the UCL? They should be strong still for another season. So why go over there? There were so many there were so many arguments to why he stayed. Like there's so many like reasons to why he stayed, and like people are still mad. So I 100% see the why he stayed. I don't know why people are mad, but now in the current state that Madrid are in, losing their main number 9 Benzema, not having many key players injured, like Vinny Jr., Courtois, and Eder Militao, especially Courtois. I think Courtois is the main one because even if Eder Militao is injured, they still have Alaba and Rudiger to replace. But with those players being injured, with Courtois being injured, that might go to more goals conceding, them conceding more goals. And then with Vinny injured as well, perfect time for Mbappe to come in, play on that left striker type side where he wants to belong. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But overall, Madrid, I think like in terms of injuries, not looking good, but in terms of how they play with Jude, Valverde, Camavinga, Chouameni getting more playtime is looking good. Rodrigo going into that phase where he's going to be a top player, more consistency, looking good. But that is that. That is my Madrid rant right there. Let's go to PSG, of course, with 3-0. Marco Asensio. Currently, the game is right here. 2 minutes left. It's at 5 minute added time. Currently at 3 minutes of the added time. But let's go ahead and talk about the win. Oh my, 0.1 win probability. That's pretty crazy. Let's go ahead and talk about this game. Yet again, you see the passes, man. Luis Enrique effects, man. Great, 70% possession, of course. PSG, of course, don't mind over here. But I mean, this game was really good. I think it took time for us to kind of get into the Luis Enrique system. The new players and stuff were adapting. We need Mbappe, man. First, let's talk about this game. What is this game here? Maybe we'll talk about this. I watched a bit of the highlights, but I want to talk about this game because this is the game that I went to when I was at Europe. I mean, what a game, man. What a game. The atmosphere, crazy. Of course, as me being a PSG fan, I had a whole drippy outfit, bro. I was, I was cold with my outfit and stuff. Go look at my Instagram personal link down below. But I was cold with my outfit. I was like yelling and everything as a pure PSG fan. I had the VIP tickets as well, of course, as a pure PSG fan. I have to get those tickets. What a game, bro. What an atmosphere. Maybe not what a game because it was 0-0. Very, very boring as well, I have to be honest. But there was a lot to get in mind with this game. And this game was a warm up game. That's why I say, like, oh, don't mind. Like, yes, we're not doing good, but it's because it's a warm up game. We're adapting to the Luis Enrique system. Take a look at this. 1,000 passes, bro. 1,000 passes. This is why I'm saying it was so boring because half the time we were passing in the back. 20 shots, 4 shots, 4 shots on target versus 0. We could not finish. And that's what I want to say. Passing, we passed too much from the back. There's a few things that we can keep in mind from this game. From the game that I went to, and even the Lens game, the RC Lens game as well. There's a few things. I was watching a bit of the first half and also a bit like up to the 60th, 70th minute of the second half. And they just it was 3-1. It's 1 minute left. When they pass it off kickoff the game, we won this game. There we go. 95th minute, about to end. But yeah, going back to this Lorient game, there's a lot to keep in mind. Is one, too many passes, especially from the back man. We're taking it too slow. I know Luis Enrique being of course, former Barcelona manager, of course, um, winning that the UCL, winning the treble in 2015 as well. But it is too slow, man. It's just too slow. We're taking too much time. We try to make a build up and then we just go back. Too much time. So that's one thing. I think when we make a build up, we should just go forward, go all out forward. I think we need to be more hungry for the ball in terms of a build. Like the build up play needs to be better. I'm saying it's like all half the time we're building up, it always breaks and we go back. We just reset the whole time. We're passing half the time. I guarantee you, 40% of those 1,000 passes were from the back here, man. It was literally so boring. So, but we had some good chances in the attack. So what we can take from this is too many passes, especially from the back, taking our time way too long. That's not how Barcelona played. Second of all, is we need Mbappe, man. This team, this game especially, we could not finish a single shot, man. A single shot. Hakimi, great as an attacking fullback. Lucas Hernandez, he's very, very good as a leader, as a captain. Great on the ball. Great from the back as well. But I think PSG need those attacking fullbacks. So we need Numanch, is currently injured, I believe, coming out of recovery. Gonna give him a bit more time. And also Hakimi. Hakimi was great, but we need Hakimi and Numanch going down those wings. Lucas Hernandez is good. I'd like to have some type of. It's difficult because I want to play like a. I hope that like Luis Enrique plays like a three-back formation with Lucas Hernandez, Skriniar, and Marquinhos all at the same time. I think that's a solid back line. And then Hakimi right mid, Numanj left mid, Ugarte, Emery in the two CDM spots or center mid spots, and then Kengan Lee or Vitinha Cam, and then Mbappe left striker and I don't know Dembele right striker. I'd like to do something like that, but at the same time, like I feel like we need Kengan Lee, Ugarte, Azar, Emery, and Vitinha. Like I think Ugarte we need 100% as our CDM. Azar Emery, I think we also need him. Like we need three of these four players at the same time. So it's hard to get rid of one of them. That's the problem here that we have. But I mean overall great game. Still a great game. We take a look at the Lens game where we had a bit of a better game, adapting more. We had more of that flair, more of that passion, of course, with Mbappe being a leader himself as well, 25 years old or 24 years old. I think he's turning 25 this December. But I mean, great game, great game. Asensio with a great goal. The build up play from this goal was crazy, man. Passing from the back, and but it goes to Vitinha. Vitinha does like a Ronaldo chop pass to Mbappe. Mbappe doing another Ronaldo touch, and then Vitinha doing a spin around, making the dribble through the entire defense, passing it to Asensio, and then Asensio just getting outside the box right into the low driven near post. Great goal. Second goal of Mbappe was also a rocket, bro. A rocket, man. I'm telling you, yet again, the 1-2 play styles that we have, it was with, I think it was with Asensio or Vitinha yet again. To Mbappe, Vitinha to Mbappe, and then Mbappe on a first time touch as well, man. First time outside the box, right over here, and a rocket, man. It was a rocket. I'm telling you, like a Howling type shot, bro. That was crazy. On the first time as well, that is pretty crazy. But yet again, we need Mbappe. Dembele was a great player as well. The flair. Um, I feel like sometimes he got a bit like stuck. Like Medina defended him well. Same with Danso and stuff. But overall, yeah, PSG great game today. And we this time, yes, we had a lot of passes, but I can definitely tell the passes that we made in this game were more progressive. That's the word that we need. More progressive. We didn't reset the play. We didn't pass from the back a lot. And I think a huge factor is because of the attacking players that we had. Mbappe, Asensio, and Dembele. We are able to play more attackingly on the ball because these guys know how to play in the attack. Like they know how to hold on to the ball in the attack for long periods of time. The reason why we made 1,000 passes in that other game that I went to against Lorient in our first opening game of the season was one because it was, of course, we didn't have good attacking players. One, we couldn't finish. Gonzalo Ramos could not get it going to the back of the net. And two is we didn't have players who are good on the ball. We just kept losing the ball. The ball would go all the way back, and then we would just pass from the back yet again. With this game here, we have players like Mbappe, Asensio, Dembele. We have Vitinha, Ugarte, who are playing more for these attacking players. Get the ball quickly to the attack, and we build up to the attack. Hernandez to Vitinha, Hernandez to Ugarte, Ugarte to Vitinha, and then Vitinha quickly passing it to Asensio, Dembele, or Mbappe. Same with Zara Emery, he passes it quickly. The thing with having these players is because of how good these players are, how like world class they are. The whole team wants to progressively quickly get it to one of these front three players, and from there on, these three take it like they just take it on from there and go ahead and score. They do their thing. They do their attacking oriented stuff. Keep the ball. They do their skills. They progress forward in attacking world class type players. Of course, Mbappe being one of the world's best players in the world currently. But yeah, I think because of how good they are, the team wants to just give it to them, and because they're so good, they go on and do it the rest. Essentially, that's the way. So I felt like it was more progressive, very fast build up. But I like the way that we played in this game. Very good progressive build up, very fast as well. Didn't set the play and pass it from the back for like 10, 20 minutes. But great game there. Yeah, we're not going to talk about this game. United versus Tottenham, man. What the heck are we seeing? If we take a look at the standings right now, I mean, one, you could say United suck. I mean, they're looking a bit shaky in the defense as well as it in attack as well. Bruno Fernandes, Rashford just couldn't finish in this game as well. He had a good chances with Bruno Fernandes getting a cross in through or like over the top in. Rashford just couldn't get the header in. But I mean, overall, man, like United look shaky. I mean, who's their keeper? Oh, Nana, bro. He's not even. He's a bit. Oh, he was way overrated, bro. I know they went to UCL final and stuff with Inter, but such an overrated keeper. Mount's playing CDM, bro. See, this is the problem I had with this United team. I literally said is they have too many attack-oriented midfielders with Bruno Fernandes and Mason Mount. None of these guys are defensive. They can't really do much defensively. They're cams. So we take a look at one of the transfers here. This is what United need. They need to act quickly. Amrabat, they need Amrabat. Imagine having Casemiro Amrabat here, playing Bruno Fernandes in this left side here, and then Mason Mount in the middle here, right behind Rashford. I think that's what they need. 100% that's what they need. So yeah, I saw some silly stuff here. Now, I'm not gonna go out and say, oh, Spurs are looking like a title winning team, because Spurs always look like this at the beginning of every season. They look like a world class team, a top team, but then they go on to bottle it. That's what they're known for, of course. Same with Arsenal, always looking like a world class team in the start of the season, but then they go on to bottle it. That's what Spurs was this game. They had that's what Spurs was every season, and this game they were looking really good. I'm gonna be honest, but I'm not gonna go out and say, oh, they're looking like a world class team. They're gonna win the title. I'm not gonna go out and say they're a title winning team. I'm just gonna say that they're a good team. They have the talents. James Madison, man, what a player in that cam, feeding those balls in, the assists that he's making, on the ball, the dribbles he makes, the outside shots he makes, very good. Heung-min Son, Kulusevski, overall great game. But yeah, nothing much to say here. I didn't watch much of it, so don't remember much. I'm not a Prem merchant. At least like when I do watch the Prem, I watch Liverpool versus a lot of Liverpool or a lot of City, because like I know I'm a PSG fan, but like I'm also a Liverpool fan and a City fan. Not like that. I'm not like a supporter of them. Like if it's PSG Liverpool, I'm gonna support PSG. If it's any team against PSG, I'm supporting PSG. But in terms of like, oh, when it comes to your favorite Prem team, who's your favorite Prem team? Who's your favorite La Liga team? Who's my favorite La Liga team? Madrid. Who's my favorite Liverpool team? Liverpool or who's my favorite Prem team? Liverpool or City. So that's why I'm saying, oh, like I like those two. Like I'd rather watch those two when it comes into the Prem. But yeah, this game here, Liverpool versus Chelsea, what a game. Liverpool, man. Yes, they're in the Europa League, but these guys are looking like a Champions League winning team. Salah, man, the assist he made into Luis Diaz. What a ball. This looked like some Luka Modric type of assist, man. A KDB type assist, bro. The through ball in behind, the in between here. He was like over here being marked by Chilwell, I think. Behind Gallagher, behind Thiago Silva, behind Disasi, who is more like central over here. Luis Diaz made that run and then just goes near post. What a assist by Salah. What a through ball in behind. Of course, Salah being Salah. He got an offside goal, unfortunately, but I mean, great run. Jota, Luis Diaz. This midfield that Liverpool have, so good. From what I've seen in the past, from what we've seen last season by this Liverpool team, it looks like they're a whole new team, especially in that midfield, in the build-up play. The only problem I have here is defensively, like if they're versing a strong defensive team, or if they're versing a strong team, I just feel like defensively they might have a few problems because McAllister is not a CDM. He's more of a box to box. Szoboszlai, he's more of a attacking. He's more of a cam. Yet again, I think he's a player who's good defensively only due to his height, his presence, physical presence. But I think more like he's mainly an attacking oriented player. Gakpo, of course, being a whole different attacking player. I feel like a 4-4-2 wouldn't be good. Jota was very good. Gakpo making those. Gakpo's physical presence as well. His presence in the attack. He gets jams and stuff. He's very similar to Haaland. I feel like it has to do with his heights. I mean, how tall is he? 24 years old, 1.93 meters. Damn, yeah, that's pretty tall. That's like, oh, I'm like 180 something. 6'3", yeah. So I think 100% has to do with height and stuff. Coming in as a jammy player, just getting in behind, always like pushing the players out of the way. Very similar to Haaland. Gakpo has that same. The runs he makes in behind. Luis Diaz great. I feel like maybe switching Diaz and Gakpo would be good, and then move Jota. Maybe switch Jota and Gakpo. I think would be the better option. I think that's how I would play this Liverpool team. Because Gakpo has that presence, like that, or pushes the defenders out of the way. So him being in that striker spot would be more, I guess, ideal. Would be more of the what's the word? It would be more reasonable. But I mean, it still works, man. The way that Liverpool played was looking good. Chelsea also put up a good fight, but I mean, Liverpool looked like the more dominant team. I was mainly paying attention to Liverpool. Van Dijk, I told you guys Van Dijk. I didn't tell you guys, but in my FPL, I was like 100%. I have to put VVD because he's gonna make a comeback season. Trent, he's back as well. Trent and Robbo, of course, being the top players. Allison, but yeah, that midfield, man. Szoboszlai, man, the dribbles, the runs he makes in behind, passing to Salas, does the 1-2s with Salas, passing with Jota, the link up plays with Jota, Luis Diaz, same with McAllister. Gakpo is really good. I like the way Liverpool play. It's way more active in that midfield. So, I mean, who did I play this week? Abel. Oh, they play tomorrow Newcastle. Yeah, I have to watch this game because Newcastle looking like a mad team as well. On the ball, of course, with Joelinton. Man being a top striker. The Prem just came to the Prem last season from, I think it was from Sociedad, Real Sociedad from La Liga. So, um, already having a good season. Young as well. How old is Isa? Yeah, 23 years old. See, great player, man. Great youngster, fits into the system. And then yeah, of course with Tonali as well. Everyone was saying like, oh, Tonali going from leaving AC Milan, he wanted to stay there. He was gonna be a Milan legend. He didn't want to leave. He was forced out of the club, and now he's sad. He's gonna have a bad season. This guy, the way he's reacting when he scored I think he scored a goal on the first game against, I think it was against Burnley. The way he was reacting and the way that he played, man, brilliant. Top CDM. So I think he's gonna have a great season as well. But yeah, I think this should be a great game, man. Newcastle, Eddie Howe gonna have a great season yet again as the manager. One of the best managers last season, all of the in all of the whole season compared to any world. One of the best managers. And yeah, Liverpool, man. Liverpool looking after that Chelsea game, man. I'm excited. Szoboszlai, McAllister, Gakpo. I want to see them in the midfield again because it looks alive, man. I'm telling you, when you watch PSG games, you get tired, bro. Just them, they pass a bit too much. As I said, against this Lens game, it looked a bit better progressively. It was more fast build ups into that attack, but most of the time you see them passing a lot. But with Liverpool, man, yes, they have a lot of passes, but a lot of the time, like they're also like building up very very fast. I think that's just I don't think that's Liverpool. That's just the way that English football is. The quick counter attacks. That's what they're known for. 4-3-3 formations, counter attack. Really, that's English football right there for you. But yeah, I can't wait for this game. Liverpool looking like a Champions League type team, although they're in the Europa League. But next season, man, hopefully they go back into the Champions League because with the way they're playing, man, quick counterattacks, the quick build up games, or the quick build up play style could hurt a lot of teams because they're very, very fast in the attack. Now, going into the ranting area of the today's video, Saudi League versus Al Nasser. Actually, maybe not a big rant because guys, go watch this video right here from 3 weeks ago. I'll link it at the end of the video. We talked a lot about how the Saudi League is changing and how like whether I liked it or not. And I'm gonna talk about it here. Ronaldo, bro, 38 years old, turning 39 in February or in June. I think his birthday is in June or something, or in March. It is in February. Okay, I did get it right the first time. I thought it was late. Yeah, Messi's in June, I think. But with turning 39, basically, he's like 30, 38. He's almost 39, bro, and he's still scoring hat tricks in a top league. Now, that is where I'm going to be getting you guys here. Is Saudi League a top league? Is what I want to talk about. Guys, I love the way that Saudi League is moving this season with the transfers and stuff. But there's a few things I have to say. Let's take an example here. The league, of course, my league, of course, being a PSG fan. Let's take a look at my league. Everybody hates at the league. They talk about how bad it is, bro. It's not. I think right now it's also Eredivisie is the new top 5 UEFA rankings or FIFA rankings, and now League went back to the 6th place. I wanna keep. I wanted to let you guys know that. So with the hate that League gets, if League had the money, if they had the money, if they had the developments, or they do have the development, I think they're one of the top leagues. They're definitely top 3 leagues in terms of producing very very top tier players. Of course, Mbappe being one of them. Osimhen came out of League. A lot of other players. Fabinho from Monaco, now being one of the best CDMs in the Prem. For Liverpool at least. So League gets a lot of hate. I want to talk about this. It's if League had the money that Saudi did, if they brought in all the players, they would still play in Europe as well. Let's say players would have the option to choose going to the League, paying the same money that the Saudi are paying, still gonna play in Europe, Champions League and stuff, or going to another country. No Champions League, no UEFA Champions League, just money, but also having other top players like Ronaldo, Mane, Brozovic, Benzema, and them. I guarantee they're gonna go to the League because they're staying in Europe for money. They're staying in Europe for top football, for Champions League football, and also other top players are gonna go to the League. Let's say, then League would be known as League is gonna be better. It's gonna be a top 5 league in the future, top 3 league. It's gonna be one of the best leagues in the world. But of course, that's what Ronaldo said with the Saudi league, and then everybody went to the Saudi league. I want to say is everybody says the Saudi league is the best in the world because they have the money to bring in all these players. These players are saying, they have money, they have a new project to bring in big players to make it a top league in the world. And now everybody's saying like Saudi league wasn't really talked about a lot before. now that they have the money, bringing in all these players, bringing in a new project, everyone is saying it's going to be one of the best leagues in the world. It's getting better and stuff. We take a look. If this, I want to say this is if this was happening with another league like the League, would people be saying the same thing about the League being one of the best leagues in the world? I 100% think that. So, what I want to say here is Saudi League is not a top, like, it is a top league, of course, with all the players, but what I want to say is it's only a top, one of the main factors. Everybody says, oh, Ronaldo. I think Ronaldo was a huge factor to why, um, the, why a lot of players came to the Saudi. But I think Ronaldo is like only 40% of it. Not the 50%. I think the rest, the 60%, is the money, man. No one is going. If other clubs in Europe, other leagues in Europe had the funds to do the same project to bring in all the big players to one league, let's say, like also the Ligue 1, who's a hated league, everyone would then say, "Oh, Ligue 1 is the best league." But we don't have the funds because Saudi have funds to do this. They like I'm saying a huge factor to why I was talking about this with my friends earlier this week. Like they were saying, "Oh, Ronaldo," like they were saying, like, "Oh, money is not a reason." Like, yes, it's a reason, but that's only a low percentage of the reason why players are going to Saudi. I don't think that, man. I think a high percentage, at least 65% of the reason why people are going to these big players are going to Saudi is because of the money. I think the reason why is one, of course, they have the oil money. Of course, two, they see like a bit of a project. They earn money towards the end of the career. They see other big players going there, so if there's a bunch of big players going there, I'm gonna keep um my career still at a decent area. I'm not going to a bad league because there's still other big players here. This league is still a competitive league. I'm earning money as well in a somewhat decent, turning into a competitive league, earning money as well. But here's how I think it goes. I was talking to my friends. They were saying, "Oh, a huge factor is because of Ronaldo. It's all because of Ronaldo. It was a good league before. Why didn't anybody join before?" I don't think it was that. I think first is one. What's those effect calls? Butterfly effect is one. Ronaldo was kicked out by Eric Ten Hag for some no reason, man. I don't know why he was hated so much. Was not the problem. He was the best player for in the Prem that season. Maybe not the best player in the Prem, but he was the best player for United that season. And a top player in the Prem. That's what you can say. So that's one thing for Ronaldo to say. He got kicked out, and no club in Europe wanted him. So he was like, okay, I'm gonna go to Saudi. Saudi want me for the money and stuff. And because Ronaldo went there, because Ronaldo is one of the best, he's up there as the best player in the world. They can't just say they can't just leave the league like that. That's why Saudi activated a funds clause type thing. They put money, they sent a bunch, they put a whole bunch of money to fund the Saudi league only just for Ronaldo. So that's why I'm saying, yes, Ronaldo was a huge part to them, but then like Ronaldo was the one who forced Saudi to just splurge all the money that they had before. They had the money before. No one wanted to go there because they weren't pushing for it. They were pushing for it more now because they said we have to bring in big players to keep Ronaldo looking like a top player, the best player in the world. We have the best player in the world, so we have to make a league so that he stays as a top player and we earn more money from football. If that makes sense. Let's write it on a notepad here to make it much more simpler. So Ronaldo joins Saudi, right? 100% he joins Saudi. This goes on. Saudi wants Saudi wants send a huge fund to to players, of course, keep the league competitive, to keep Ronaldo's, I guess, career or her, what do you call it, ego or reputation high, to keep his, like, I guess, his standards for Ronaldo, for because best there the world, of course. These are the reasons, I guess. A big. Uh, Here we can go from this big world class players to keep. Why did they bring in big world class players to keep the league competitive? And why do they want to keep the league competitive? For Ronaldo. It was for Ronaldo. But the reason why, so why not? They had the money before. Why didn't they push in the past? Why didn't they push in the past? Why didn't Saudi push? I guess the money for big players in the past. It was because there wasn't a reason. Is players were still at a young. There were still a lot of players who wanted to play in Europe, wanted to play for the passion. Yes, like there's like you can say that like, oh, there is money, like why not join for the money? Why not join for the money? Um, uh, but at the same time, there was no development, no project, no reason, no reasoning until Ronaldo joined. They wanted to do this because they wanted to keep Ronaldo's ego, his career up there. They say, oh, this is a competitive league. Ronaldo is not just stat padding in a bad league. He's in a good league. He's in a competitive league. Ronaldo is still the best player in the world. Now this league is also the best league in the world. Getting better. So why not join in the past is because one, like there was money in the past, but in the past there was no development, there was no project. Right now, Ronaldo is the project. They want to make a league around Ronaldo. That Ronaldo looks like he's the best player in the world. He's and not look like he's still the best player in the world. I want to keep that in mind. I have no hate against Ronaldo. I'm just saying that the reason they're doing this is because of Ronaldo. But they're pushing the money. They're pushing it. Didn't hard. Is what I'm trying to say here. Are these the? It's hard to explain. Like I hope you guys are understanding what I'm. Like it's like something in my brain I want to say, but like I can't explain it in a simple words. Ronaldo joins the Saudi. What does the Saudi want to do? They want to keep. He's the best player in the world. They have to praise him. They have to make. They have to make him the best. Like they because I guarantee if Ronaldo went to the MLS, look at Messi right now in the MLS. I'm telling you, I know Saudi league like good, but MLS is so bad, bro. It's so bad. Like I know people are hating on MLS. I guarantee you, if Ronaldo went to the MLS and was stat padding like Messi was right now, Messi, everyone is saying, "Oh, Messi is stat padding. Look how bad the MLS is." And I'm telling you, bro, this is on another level. Look at Harry Maguire's defending. The MLS defending is on another level, bro. It is actually bad, but so that's why I can see why people are saying, "Oh, Messi is just stat padding against the MLS McDonald's League," of course. So I 100% see why people. I guarantee you, if the Saudi, if Ronaldo went to the MLS and was doing what Messi was doing, there would be the same arguments. Everyone was saying like it would be going to Ronaldo fans like it's gonna be like the same thing where he's just stat padding and stuff in the MLS. He's scoring good goals, but it's in the MLS with such bad like players and stuff. It's really bad. It's really bad the defending, 100%. But and I think that would have been the same thing with Ronaldo. Is if Saudi League had not done anything, it would have been a league similar to the MLS. Not that good, not that competitive, but so because of that, because they said, "Oh, we have money now, we have a reason to push harder. Let's go in, spend a huge fund. Let's push harder. Say that, oh, we want to bring we like now they had a project to actually do it for a reason. You get what I mean? It was a project all for Ronaldo. Is that yeah? I don't know. That wasn't the rant I was looking for, man. It was too confusing to explain. But at the end of the day, like I think a lot of the reason was for money and also for the project, and that all started because of Ronaldo. The Ronaldo was only 30% of it. The rest of the reasons why other players joined to make this league a better league, a more competitive league, was because of the money. I guarantee it wasn't because of anything else. And the money was started because of Ronaldo. So I guess that's how I'm gonna put it. I don't know. I that came out really bad, guys. That came out really bad. But I mean, as I said in my last podcast, guys, or in the podcast here, I'm gonna link it at the end of the video. This one here, this podcast, I clearly said that I think that what the Saudi League are doing is really, really good, and what it does is like it draws in youth players, and we see here now Gabri Vega joining Al Ahli, Saudi League. So what this does is it draws players to the Saudi League. Like yet again, this is what I said. We go back to Notepad. Saudi League bring top players end of career. And like examples of this, we have Benzema, Brozovic, Kante, Mane, um, Ronaldo, of course. I mean, who else is there? Here are some. I guess yeah, that's enough. Like you see, they're bringing in players, top players. These guys are all still top players. Jota, they're still all Neymar, of course. They're still all top players, but they're reaching more towards the end of the career. Now, these guys won't last for a long time. I guarantee in the next 5 years, like more than half, like at least like 75% of the players brought in the Saudi and the league will be less competitive and gain less attention. I guarantee this is gonna happen. But these players that they're brought in now, we take a look back here. Players over here, what these are doing is like this could occur, but it won't occur because I 100% think that the reason what this is for is because now what they're doing is um draws what the money has done, what bringing in all these big top players has done is now it's drawing in a, attention for players will and in 5 years time will face different top players the top form. I 100%. So there's two scenarios. Is it just gonna be like a two thing, then these players are gonna leave, and then it's gonna go back to being like the league it was before, or it's gonna be that because of these players bringing in this attention now. What does the attention do? Attention to youth, young football players. They're developed. Like Saudi League have invested in football. You see I was watching a video on TikTok about how the Saudi and also UAE, like how the Middle Eastern, especially Saudi, I think it was mainly Saudi, and also the UAE football systems work, and the way that they have it is very, very interesting. Um, like they have four divisions, and then the way it's not really like a league type thing where there's points and stuff. More like I guess a tournament type thing. Um, stuff or like it. I don't know how to explain it, but it's very, very interesting, and I think if as I said, um, the attention that these guys bring in to youth football players. Now Saudi League invest into youth football. They have good development programs, bring in top coaches or top medical staff, top training football training people, um, top development programs in or into the youth, and then these youth players got attention from these top players they brought in. And then by the time in the next 5 years, when 75% of these top players brought in this season leave, it's not going to go back to being a less competitive league because when they initially joined, it caught the attention of youth players who are going to be developed very, very well because of also the youth investment. And then in 5 years, they're going to go ahead and replace them and keep the league at top form. I think that's going to happen. I think I talked about it on my last podcast. I mean, it's already starting here. We see Gabri Vega. There's a lot of rumors of him going to United. Liverpool wanted him. I think Madrid also wanted him from Celta Vigo. They just played them today or yesterday, and they beat the team. I think PSG even wanted him, but he ended up going to Saudi because one, I think the money, and two, the development plan, the development programming, the future of the Saudi league. So, I mean, I said in my last podcast, go ahead, watch it again, and I mean, it's coming true. So, mark my words, guys. No one is saying this, but I mean, I'm telling you now. I think that's gonna happen. I think the youth attention. They're gonna invest more in youth. This is just to bring attention to the league. All these big players to attention. This is for Ronaldo to keep it more of a competitive league. Just so people say, "Oh, Ronaldo's doing it in a very challenging league. Messi's doing it in the league." I think that's one reason is to keep Ronaldo's career or his view high. Two, the money, they're doing it for the money, and three is for the future project of having a developments and stuff, having a make it better. So that's what I think. That's what I think of the Saudi League. Balogun, not gonna talk about that. Alexis Sanchez goes back to he goes back to Inter Milan on a free agent as a loan, yeah, short term deal as free agent. Oh, only short. Okay, not a loan. It's only a short term deal. Okay, okay, I see how it is. Great deal, man. I think. Yeah, I mean with Korea, I think Korea went. I don't know if it was a swap deal. I think it was a separate deal, but with Joaquin Correa, who played for Inter Milan last season, of course, for the past few seasons, went to Olympic Marseille, where Hugo Sanchez was. And I don't know if it was a swap deal, but I don't think so. But now it looks like short term deal up till December or up to the January transfer window of. Or I don't know if he's saying short term as in half a season or just like 1 or 2 years. But oh yeah, here one year. Alexis Sanchez to Inter Milan. I think this is a good deal. I think this is a good deal. Of course, Brick Lukaku gone. They still have Brick Lautaro Martinez, but yeah, I think he's gonna fit in with the system. Of course, go in with his old teammates and stuff. Great deal. He was one of the top players in the attack last season. So hopefully he brings that back to the Serie A. Take a look. Yeah, here's the Joaquin. Here's the Joaquin Correa deal. Marseille player. Of course, we had to bring in the Persian. Actually, Persian R9 is Taremi. The Persian Ronaldinho, guys. Persian Ronaldinho, Osmun, Stadar Osmun from Leverkusen going until Roma as a loan deal with a buy option for 12 million euros. I think this is a great deal, man. Of course, with I think he's pretty decent striker. I think under Mourinho, he's gonna develop a lot as a Persian. Like it's really good to see them going into a big club um like Roma with with one of the best managers in the history of football, and also with a very well surrounded team with Tammy Abraham there, with Dybala there. I think this is a great deal for Roma. So there are Osmun goats, Jacques Cancelo. Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about PSG. That Jacques Cancelo to Barcelona. They're waiting until the end of the season to fit this system really well. Who's Barcelona's right back? I guess Kunde. So yeah, it does make sense that like sometimes Kunde and Araujo play at right back because they don't really have an official right back. So if or if Cancelo goes there, I think he fits in the system right away. It gets into starting 11. So at least he's gonna get playing time. So that is that. Understand PSG have agreed terms with Serie A side Genoa or Genoa. I don't know how to pronounce this team, but they sell French right back Timothy Mbele permanent deal with sell-on clause up to the player now, as he also received an approach from Eintracht Frankfurt, his priority. Two more clubs also entering the race. Now, as a PSG fan, how do I see this? I feel like last season, or I think it was 2 seasons ago, when Hakimi was off the AFCON, the African Champions Cup tournament, um, for the African countries. Mbele was our replacement, and he was really good. He was solid, man. So as a youth player, I feel like we could maybe send him in on a loan would be better. That's how I think it, because I think if we develop him more, he can earn some valuable skills, become a top right back at the club. So a bit disappointed, but I mean it is what it is. Paris Saint-Germain and Eintracht Frankfurt are optimistic on reaching an agreement for Randall Colomani. Talks continue as Eintracht Frankfurt are looking for replacement and Hugo Ekitike is still discussed as option between clubs. Ekitike, get him out. Colomani at the World Cup, great performance. He has that French prison in him as well. I know Ekitike has that as well, and both players are young, so they still could have time to develop and become better. But still, as it stands right now, Colomani fits the system with Mbappe, Dembele, and Colomani up top. From the French national team, they have the chemistry in the attack, so fits in better than Hugo Ekitike, who's probably one of Eintracht Frankfurt's most important players last season as well, if I'm not mistaken. And even here as well, Kylian Mbappe has suggested the name of Antoine Griezmann to management at PSG. The Atletico Madrid player has a release clause set at 12 or 25 million in his contract. That is the biggest steal, bro. And no club has done anything. 25 million for Antoine Griezmann. Grizu, man. One of my favorite players. One of my favorite players. The way that he plays in the French team, even for Atletico, he's one of the best players. Very underrated player in my opinion as well. I think in everyone's opinion, not just my opinion. But I will take him at PSG any day. He has the French, we need more French at the club to bring more of that French spirit for a French club. Bring him in 100%. Fits in the system. Hold him. Imagine we're as I said, we're making the French national team, man. Hold him Wani up top as striker. Right wing Dembele. Left wing Mbappe. In the left center mid, we put Antoine Griezmann. Ugarte as CDM. Warren Zaire-Emery at right center mid. Left back, we have Numenge. Center back, we have Lucas Hernandez and Lance Skriniar, Donnarumma and net, Hakimi right back. Essentially, we're making a World Cup the French World Cup winning team, or at least a World Cup final team. So I mean, I'm loving it, and I'm not just saying like yes, people might say like, oh, you can't just bring in the whole national team of France and they're still gonna perform good. I know, but at the same time, they're still like we're bringing in key players who are still good, not only for their country but also for the club as well. Great players, and I think Griezmann is gonna offer a lot. So we need Griezmann, bro. I just got energized there by Griezmann. I love Griezmann, man. He's a fantastic player, and he fits in perfectly for the team, man. Perfectly, bro. French are already having Dembele, Mbappe, and Griezmann, and maybe Colomwani as well. It's gonna be great for the Parisian spirit, for the French spirit, for the chemistry. They already know how to play together. They already know each other's play style, so they quickly adapt to the play style. Great. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know. Even if he doesn't go to PSG, I don't know what other clubs are not doing. 25 mil for Griezmann, still, bro. He's a top player in my opinion. But yeah, already at an hour, we're gonna go ahead and end it off with a footy tic tac toe. Take a look at my negative ball knowledge. Haven't done this in a while. Okay, box to box, European League. Let's go ahead. 3 minutes. Let's go. Arsenal World Cup. We're gonna go ahead. Emiliano Martinez. No, come on. Bruh. What is this lag, man? Can't even play the game. Alistair. Yo, let me do it, man. Let me do it. Okay, Dortmund World Cup. Why can't I think of that? Has to be like a German player, I'd say. Hummels. Did Hummels win the World Cup? A negative ball knowledge coming into play. Yeah, he did. Back in 2010. No, 2014. Arsenal City. Enko. Liverpool City. We'll come back to that. Arsenal, Madrid, Mesut Ozil, the best attacking oriented players of our generation. As the World Cup, of course. Liverpool, Madrid, Fabinho. Dortmund, Madrid. Dortmund, Hakimi. Dortmund, City. We're gonna go with Akanji. Or we'll even do Haaland as well. Liverpool, City, man. Liverpool has to be an old player, man. An old player. Like I don't know. The Sterling played for the youth, so it does work, I guess. But he played. Did he play for the main team? Sterling. I know he played for the youth of. Uh, he played for the real team. Real deal, man. I thought he played for the academy. Yeah, I know he came out of the academy of. But yeah, I guess we did it. Nice, easy and easy. But yeah, that is that for today's podcast episode. If you guys enjoyed it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. But yeah, next episode. I don't know when the next episode will be. We'll see when we have news. Maybe at the end of the weekend. I mean, what games do we have this week to talk about? Newcastle and, well, of course, big game to talk about. I fought mob loads. I said I was gonna do those like week stuff as well, but I guess I didn't. Full time, summer, friends and stuff. Tomorrow we got Barcelona, Villarreal. Shouldn't be bad. We can maybe talk about that. Newcastle, Liverpool. We have to talk about that game. East Lyon, not bad to talk about. Day after, nothing much. Nothing much after. Okay. Al Shabab and Al Nasser. Al Shabab is a top team. Aren't they a top team? They're usually a top team. At least I've heard of them. Inter Miami versus Nashville. They just had a final and Inter Miami won, of course. And maybe like midweek, like Wednesday or Thursday, I'll do another podcast. But yeah, not much news really. But yeah, for now, if you guys enjoyed today's podcast, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Next podcast, maybe Wednesday or Thursday. Stay tuned. Thank you for 50 subscribers. I don't know if we said it on this podcast, but yeah, thank you guys for 50 subscribers. Going into uni now. It's been about 3 years now. 2020, in the summer of 2020, started the podcast, and now we're at 50 subscribers, almost 150 episodes. I mean, that's pretty crazy. We go back 1 year ago, years ago. Oh, look how different it looks. Well, look at the setup. Look at the back here. Now look at the setup, guys. All the footy stuff. Yeah, 2021. Yeah, that's crazy, man. That was crazy. But yeah, thank you so much, guys. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for now. Yeah, I'll see you guys on the next episode. Stay positive, stay happy, stay safe. Loved ones, your friends, family. Now, have a good one, and I'll see you later. Peace.